Listen, keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't worry about what others are saying about you and what others have to say of you because of the fact. Listen, so I went up to college freshman year, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to get involved on campus all that much, but lo and behold, they had this thing called the SIS Fair for many students to come in and see what the different clubs, organizations on campus had to offer to see like if you were a good fit and if you wanted to join with some of the clubs or organizations that they had on campus because you like what they're doing. Now, as for me, there was a pep rally a couple days before and I saw the school mascot down there just doing whatever, having a little bit of fun and just being able to get on the field and having clearances to do whatever he wants. So I ultimately looked at one of my friends and said, yo, I want to do that. They were like, what? Why you want to do that? That's stupid. I'm like, listen, I don't know, but I'm gonna get down there and I'm gonna do it. So ultimately, I went to the fair, the SIS fair, and got in contact with someone and they pointed me in the right direction on where I should probably head over to so that way I could become mascot certified. So I ended up going to the athletic director's office. Walked in there, sat down, asked if this is where I should come since I have an interest in becoming a school mascot. They said, yeah, you're in the right direction. Here, talk to this person. Sat down, talked to the athletic director. The athletic director, she's telling me a whole bunch of stuff, running down the rules, telling me all the other things I have to get done and all the other things I have to do. She was like, take this back, look over it, and come back to me and let me know what you decide on doing. Now, tell you the truth, at that moment, if I would have taken that paperwork back and looked over it, I probably would have never went back. But I looked her in the eyes and I said, yeah, I'll do it. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, I came here to do it. So filled out paperwork, scheduled a physical with the school doctor and everything, got everything done. And then I was able to become the mascot. Now, as I was getting all the paperwork done in between the time for me to get the physical and the paperwork getting transferred over to the school doctor, I texted my family members. We had a family group chat and I said, guess what? And lo and behold, everybody would say, what? And I'm like, yeah, what? So I'm like, I just applied to be a school mascot and I just got it. Now, a lot of people were like, ew, why would you do that? Like, that's stupid. Ew, no. The mascot, why would you? The only person that I could recall that said, do it and just enjoy my time was my older brother. He ultimately was like, yeah, yo, go for it, Rube. Like, do your thing, you're gonna rock it. At that moment, I was a little bit discouraged to know that my family members were questioning why I was doing it rather than encouraging me on doing it. But I didn't let that stop me from continuing on to do it. So I continued on, had the physical with the doctor, and as I'm waiting in line for the physical with the doctor, one of my other friends, he was like, yo, what are you doing here? You don't play a sport here? I'm like, yeah, I know. But I'll tell you later on. He's like, man, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm going to become the school mascot. And then he blurs it out. He's like, you becoming a mascot? Yo, you funny. And he started laughing. I'm like, listen, bro, it's cool. Like, everything's gonna be good. He's like, man, you funny. So, lo and behold, first game comes, football game. I thought I would have been shadowing the previous mascot, but the previous mascot basically quit. So it was showtime for me. I suited up, got ready, got in there, acting a fool, not knowing what to do because I've never done anything like this before. Sweat burning my eyes, getting in the way of the cheerleaders, practically running around, not knowing what to do, lack of energy, lack of knowing. To the point where I sat down with the cheerleading coach, she talked to me, she told me how to do certain things and what to do as a mascot and the mannerisms of a mascot. And I ultimately went back in for game 2. Game 2, sweat was still burning my eyes. I got it down a little bit more, but things weren't all that cohesive and great. Now, as the season continued on, things got a little bit better. I figured out I needed a sweatband. I figured out which students and which kids that I could interact with, what to do with the kids and the students and the adults, like how to play it off, how to take pictures, and do a whole bunch of other things. To the point where things ultimately started to play out in my favor. I started to get good at what I was doing. I actually took this leap of faith and actually did something out of my comfort zone, something that I was never aware of doing. And things actually turned out to be a lot greater than what I thought of doing. Now I bring this up because you may be sitting on an idea, you may be sitting on something right now yourself. But due to the fact that your friends or your family members are mocking you or saying that it's not a good idea or can't see it the way you're envisioning it, doesn't mean that you need to take the piece of paper that you had your dreams written on and crumble it up and throw it out. Listen, if I would have sat there and listened to my family members clown me about becoming this mascot right here, I would have never decided to take a step forward in another direction that actually benefited me and actually helped me get exposure on campus with some of the higher ups, not just the higher ups, but allowed me to have a stress reliever and something that I could be proud of and something that I had control over and how I wanted to walk around campus with this suit on. Don't let anybody put a damper on what you're dreaming on and what your ideas are, because at the end of the day, it's your happiness. People will tell you how to live your life and people will tell you how to do certain things in life, but things that they haven't done themselves, but yet they're attempting to control you and guide you through the whole entire process, and they don't even know it themselves. Listen, if you're gonna sit here and let people dictate and tell you how to live, then you might as well just give up your brain and give up your willpower and give up your whole entire self to that person that is driving you to do something that you ultimately had the vision on doing, but because they say it's stupid or they don't like it themselves and they're projecting that on you, you're ultimately gonna pack your things up and call it a wash because it's not something that anybody else is seeing that is great for you. But listen, come my third year of doing this mascotting, things actually played out to my favor. Things were looking up, I was having fun. Certain people were figuring out that it was me in there. And ultimately, my siblings came around and they were like, yo, like, that's my little brother in here. Like, he's actually doing this thing. Like, he's funny. That was the talk within the family or within all the family gatherings. Like, yeah, yo, he's the mascot at his school. They took pride in that. I took pride in that. Listen, take pride in what you're doing, because the same people that told you that it probably wasn't a good idea will be the same people that is holding you up on a pedestal and patting you on the back and telling everybody that they know that this guy or this girl is someone who had a dream and who had an idea and a vision that went for it and ultimately got to the success that they wanted to see themselves at. Listen, keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't worry about what others are saying about you and what others have to say of you, because of the fact that they are more so worried about you rather than themselves, while you are more so worried about yourself and helping yourself get to the next level and get to the next opportunity and the next goal and the next ranking in your life. This is up to you. This is your stage. This is your play. Keep on going. Step out your comfort zone. Don't let anybody put a damper on your ideas and what you truly want to set out to do, because then you'll start regretting what you could have done and how great you could have been. Listen, if you took anything out of this story, leave a comment below. Also, leave a comment about a situation that you were placed in where someone may have put a damper on what you wanted to do and how you were able to overcome it, or if you regret not taking that step on actually continuing to do what you wanted to do. Listen, This was Ignite. We're only here to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to ignite the flame within you so that way you can ignite the flame within somebody else. I'll see you next week.